Okay, this is I think 1992 Casablanca Ventura. Not really much to it. It has square tip blades, but that's about it. I think this is a 48-inch span. Motor came from Matt Cody. Blades came off eBay. Tags back here. IntelliTouch. Go ahead and bring this back and we'll start her up. Okay. This is 4-5 blade adaptable. I want to say this is the tail end of our MM2, but I could be wrong about that. Because of the shorter blade span, this does fly. It really does fly. But it still retains the aesthetic lows of the 52-inch fans because of how low the cap value is. So the Ventura is kind of an interesting model. Basically, it was the successor to the Four Seasons. So the earliest iteration of the Ventura was in 1985. It was a slumber quiet version of the Four Seasons, labeled Four Seasons. And yes, slumber quiet. Very tail end of slumber quiet in 1985. It had the 1-inch brackets like you see here, and it was 4-blade only, antique white only. I think the model number was 04666, and that was it. So that was the first iteration, and that didn't last long. There's only a handful of those known. Move it up to speed 2. And then it had this same faceplate styling, and then after that limited model went away, the next iteration came out in 1988, and that was the Alpine, the first iteration of the Alpine. So, and that also had the same model number, the only difference being, since the Alpine only came in Snow White, the color code was 1111 instead of 666, which means antique white. So the early Alpine was 041111 T meaning IntelliTouch, and 04 meaning Alpine. And that was only a 1988 thing, and then the Ventura was introduced in 1989 with the name and everything, and a brand new specific model number for this faceplate, 27. This specific fan you see here, I think, is 271111T. I don't remember if this is a Home Depot version, or if the one that I have on the ground, the bright brass version, is. Speed 3. So, like I said, this is the successor to the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons was discontinued in 1989, and then the final year it appeared was 1990 under the name Nassau, which the remaining parts were painted white and cobbled together to make the Nassau, which was just a Snow White Four Seasons. There wasn't anything special to it. So, and then of course we have focusing issues because that's what this camera is great for, in low light, somewhat low light. And the Nassau was, discontinued after 1990, and then the very final iteration of the Four Seasons, or mainstream Four Seasons with this classic faceplate, was the Metropolitan, the first version of the Metropolitan, which was a Lamps Plus exclusive fan. I have one of those. It has a giant bowl light on it, very bizarre. And then I think the Ventura continued into the 1990s all the way to the 2010s. I could be wrong about that, though. Ventura 2, I don't know if that was 2010s or early 2000s. The Ventura 2 was 3-speed or IntelliTouch. In the early days of the Ventura, of the mainstream model, they did come usually with the square tip blades, or were at least advertised with them. I think if the Ventura had gallery edition models, they did come with the square tip blades. But as the years went on into the mid-90s, they had the typical bump tip blades, which is what my bright brass one has. My bright brass one is from 1993, I think. This white one here is from 92. 92 or 91, I can't remember. I think 91. This is speed 4. The thing with the Nassau, or not the Nassau, the Alpine was 5-blade adaptable only. It had a 5-blade only flywheel. I don't know why they didn't choose to put a 4.5 flywheel on that model, because 1988 is the year they started rolling that out mainstream, but they didn't with that particular model. I'm not sure why. Maybe that limited run model was a last-ditch attempt to use up all the remaining 5-blade only flywheel units. Move up to speed 5. And then the Alpine name was reintroduced when the next generation lineup was introduced. The Alpine, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the Alpine, when it was reintroduced, was the Four Seasons 2 or 3, but it had all the weird colors, like all the wacky colors. Either that or was outdoor rated. All I know is that it had the Four Seasons 2 and 3 shell. Speed 5 is like that of a 52-inch Casablanca's high speed because of how the less weight of the blades. And we'll go ahead and move to 6. I do apologize for the lack of light. I should have put a brighter bulb in the Four Seasons above me, but I did not think ahead, and I'm already 11 minutes deep into this video, so probably do the same thing for the 4-blade video of this fan, if I do one, just for symmetry, I guess. As you would expect, it is just cranking out air. Go ahead and reverse it. I'll do the reverse speeds really quick. Just run through them. That's speed 5, we'll just end there. Okay, those are the reverse speeds. So that is my, I want to say 91 Casablanca Alpine, Ventura. Hard time speaking today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.